Imagine a bustling Roman city, frozen in time. A place where daily life came to an abrupt, fiery end, perfectly preserved for 2 millennia. This is the story of Pompeii, a city that lived and died in the shadow of the mighty Mount Vesuvius. Let's travel back to 79 AD. Pompeii is a thriving port city in the Roman Empire, a vibrant hub of commerce and culture. Located on the beautiful Bay of Naples, its streets are alive with the sounds of merchants hawking their wares, children playing, and politicians debating in the forum. The air is filled with the aroma of freshly baked bread from the local pastrinum and the exotic spices arriving by sea. The city's wealthy elite reside in lavish villas, their walls adorned with stunning frescoes depicting mythological scenes and everyday life. These homes, with their open-air courtyards and intricate mosaic floors, speak of a life of luxury and comfort. But Pompeii wasn't just for the rich. It was a city for everyone. Cobblers, weavers, potters, and smiths worked in small shops that opened directly onto the bustling streets. Taverns and snack bars, known as thermopolia, served hot food and drinks to people on the go. You could grab a quick lunch, catch up on the latest gossip, or even place a bet. The public baths were a cornerstone of social life, a place not just for hygiene, but for business meetings, exercise, and relaxation. The city also boasted a large amphitheater, capable of holding up to 20,000 spectators for gladiatorial games and public spectacles. Life was good. Life was normal. The people of Pompeii were accustomed to the earth shaking. Minor tremors were a common occurrence in this volcanic region. They had no idea that these were warning signs, the restless stirring of a sleeping giant. The Romans didn't even have a word for volcano. They saw Vesuvius as just another mountain, a beautiful, vine-covered backdrop to their idyllic lives. They farmed its fertile slopes, unaware of the immense power churning deep within. Then came that fateful day in late summer or autumn. Around midday, a tremendous explosion ripped the top off Mount Vesuvius. It wasn't a lava flow, not at first. Instead, a colossal column of ash, pumice, and superheated gas shot miles into the sky, blotting out the sun and turning day into night. Panic erupted. The sky rained down small, lightweight pumice stones, piling up inch by inch, minute by minute. Some people fled immediately, scrambling towards the coast, hoping to escape by sea. Others, perhaps believing it was a passing storm, or wanting to protect their homes and belongings, decided to wait it out, seeking shelter indoors. For those who stayed, it was a fatal mistake. The initial ashfall was terrifying, but survivable. The real killer was yet to come. As the volcanic column lost its upward momentum, it collapsed. A series of pyroclastic surges incinerating, fast-moving clouds of gas, and volcanic debris roared down the slopes of Vesuvius at hurricane speeds. The first surge reached the nearby town of Herculaneum, instantly killing everyone. Hours later, subsequent surges swept through Pompeii. These avalanches of death were unimaginably hot, hundreds of degrees Celsius, and unstoppable. Anyone left in the city was killed in an instant. They didn't have time to suffocate. The intense heat was the cause of death. The surges buried the city completely, sealing it under a thick blanket of ash and rock. And then silence. Pompeii, along with Herculaneum and other surrounding settlements, vanished. Wiped off the map, its memory faded into legend. For over 1,500 years, the city lay undisturbed, a silent tomb beneath layers of volcanic material. The story of Pompeii's rediscovery is as fascinating as its destruction. In the late 16th century, workers digging a canal stumbled upon some ruins. But it wasn't until 1748 that serious excavation began. What the archaeologists found was nothing short of miraculous. The volcanic ash had acted as a perfect preservative. It wasn't an empty ruin. It was a snapshot of Roman life. They found buildings intact, with furniture and household items exactly where they had been left. Loaves of bread were still in the ovens, carbonized but recognizable. Coins were left on shop counters. Political graffiti and casual scribbles were still visible on the walls, giving us a direct, unfiltered glimpse into the minds of the people who lived there. But the most poignant and haunting discoveries were the human remains. As the bodies of the victims decomposed over the centuries, they left behind hollow voids in the hardened ash. In the 1860s, archaeologist Giuseppe Fiorelli developed a brilliant technique. When his team found one of these cavities, they would carefully pour liquid plaster into it. Once the plaster hardened, they would excavate the surrounding ash, revealing a perfect cast of the person at the moment of their death. These casts are incredibly powerful. They aren't statues. They are the final, desperate moments of real people. We see a mother clutching her child, a group of people huddled together in a room for protection, a man curled up alone, covering his face, a dog chained to its post, writhing in its final moments. These figures capture the human tragedy of Pompeii in a way that no history book ever could. They show us the terror, the despair, and the suddenness of the end. They force us to connect with these ancient people on a deeply personal level. Through these finds, Pompeii has taught us more about daily Roman life than almost any other source. We can walk its stone-paved streets, enter its homes, and stand in its public squares. We see the tools they used, the art they enjoyed, the food they ate, and even their jokes. We see evidence of a complex society with social hierarchies, vibrant commerce, and deep-seated religious beliefs. The eruption of Vesuvius was an immense tragedy that claimed thousands of lives. But in a strange twist of fate, the very disaster that destroyed Pompeii also preserved it for us. It's a city that is both a graveyard and a living museum. It reminds us of the fragility of life and the immense power of nature. It allows us to step back in time and witness a world that was, in many ways, not so different from our own. People loved, worked, worried, and dreamed, all in the shadow of a mountain that would ultimately become their tomb and their monument. Today, Vesuvius is still an active volcano, and millions of people live in its vicinity. The story of Pompeii is not just a tale from the past. It's a sobering reminder of the ongoing relationship between humanity and the powerful, unpredictable forces of our planet. As we continue to uncover its secrets, Pompeii remains a timeless and compelling window into life and death in the ancient world. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history. Let me know in the comments what historical event you'd like to explore next. See you in the next video.